And then there were 4. After intense battles in the previous round, 4 teams have come out victorious and qualified for the semi-finals. Now they will have to put everything on the line if they wanna book their tickets to Lima. Which is why here in Ranked Talks Bowl we're gonna predict the first leg in the semi-finals of the Copa Libertadores 2025. Liga de Quito traveled to the Morumbi with a 2-0 lead to defend against Sao Paulo. And defend they did. From the get-go, the team managed by Hernan Crespo was the one dictating play and creating chances, but just like in the first leg, they were being incredibly wasteful. The goalkeeper for Liga, Gonzalo Valle, was forced to make a double save, first a close-range shot by Luciano Neves and then a long-range one by Bobadilla within the first 10 minutes. Luciano, who had already missed 3 big chances in the first leg, found himself all alone in front of goal after receiving the ball from a corner in the 20th minute, yet somehow he managed to send the ball over the crossbar. And in this sport, when you waste so many chances, you get punished. And that's exactly what happened to Sao Paulo. As in the 41st minute, Liga de Quito hit on the break, and on their first shot of the night, Jason Medina found the back of the net to give the Ecuadorians a 3-0 lead on aggregate. Sao Paulo had to get a response somehow, some way, but they kept not hitting the target. In the second half, Liga de Quito realized that their opponents wouldn't score no matter how hard they tried, and so the Ecuadorians saw the rest of the game out, giving Sao Paulo the ball and allowing them to crash into the wall that was their defense and their goalkeeper Valle. In total, Sao Paulo had 26 shots, of which 11 were on target, but in this sport, if you don't score goals, you don't win, and while Sao Paulo scored none, Liga de Quito scored 3. Which sees the Ecuadorians make the semi-finals for the first time since 2008, year in which they won the entire thing. And in this stage, they will have to play another team from the city of Sao Paulo, Palmeiras, who had beaten River Plate 2-1 in Argentina, but didn't get off to a good start playing the second leg at home. Because in the 8th minute, a free kick taken by Quintero became a cross that found the head of Maxi Salas, who scored to put River on level terms in the tie. After this, Palmeiras took control of the ball, but they didn't take control of the game. In fact, River had a chance to take the lead in the tie when Kevin Castaño found himself one-on-one with Weberton, but instead of shooting, he tried to dribble the keeper and got dispossessed. In the second half, however, Palmeiras showed their quality, and after a cross, Vitor Roque was left all alone on the far post. His header was saved by Armani, but he managed to score from the rebound to make it 1-1 on the night. Needing a result, River began to push forward once again. In the 73rd minute, Borja had the chance to equal the tie, but a fantastic save by Weberton denied him. After this, Palmeiras retook control of the game, with Vitor Roque forcing some good saves out of Armani. Until the 90th minute, when the referee gave Palmeiras a foul for a non-existent handball by Colidio. And from that free kick, Facundo Torres was through on goal and was brought down inside the box by Acuña, who was sent off for being on a yellow, although he should have been sent off earlier for headbutting and then stepping on a player earlier into the game. Either way, Jose El Flaco Lopez scored from the spot to give Palmeiras a more comfortable lead, and he even had time in stoppage time to add a third with a wonderful first touch and an even better finish, giving El Verdao a 5-2 win on aggregate and a ticket to the semi-finals. And now this is a really tough game to call, because Palmeiras, despite being the best team in the competition, have not been foolproof, and Liga de Quito at home has proven to be a really hard team to break down, especially for the other Brazilian teams that they faced already. I don't know if there will be a difference maker in this game, which is why I will predict that in Quito, the first leg is gonna end in a draw. Racing had a 1-0 lead going into the second leg at home against Vélez. But that didn't mean that they would try to defend it. Instead, from the very beginning, Racing went for the result and started to batter Vélez against their own goal. 15 minutes in, a shot from distance by Almendra forced a stretch out of Marchiori, and from the subsequent corner, the Vélez goalkeeper once again tested his reflexes, first from a header from Solari and then another one from Pardo. In the 30th minute, Solari had yet another chance, but his shot from distance that was curling into the far post was once again saved by Marchiori, who was clearly being the man of the match. The dominance from Racing was so overwhelming that Vélez didn't register a single shot in the first half. Going into the second though, the team led by Guillermo Barros Esqueloto grew into the game and began to create a few chances. Until the 62nd minute, when a shot from Machuca slid under Cambeses and rolled towards the goal. Everyone in Vélez celebrated, but images later showed that the ball hadn't fully crossed the line. After another hard break for Vélez, Racing retook control of the game. Sosa hit the post with a header, and finally in the 82nd minute, a wonderful play by Rojas and an even better cross found Solari all alone inside the box to tap it in and score the goal that sends Racing through to the semi-finals of the Copa Libertadores for the first time in 28 years. Now their rivals will be Flamengo, who traveled to La Plata with the 2-1 lead they had gotten over Estudiantes at the Maracaná. But the naive Estudiantes they had faced in the first leg was nowhere to be seen in Argentina. El Pincha played a very smart game, giving Flamengo the ball but being more direct with their chances. This did leave them exposed to potential counterattacks, like the one that took place in the 23rd minute when Pedro found himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper, but Muslera was there to make the save. The game was very tight and there was not much room to find an angle, until the final play of the first half, in which Núñez with a long ball found Benedetti inside the box, and with a powerful volley he smashed his shot against the roof of the net to score for Estudiantes and level the tie. The second half was more of the same. Flamengo had the ball, but their movements in the midfield with Jorginho were very slow and sluggish, while Estudiantes with their direct play created more chances, but nothing too threatening. The clock eventually ran out, and so the tie had to be decided on penalties. Jorginho was never missing from the spot. Sosa and Araujo scored as well, but almost as if it was written in law, Benedetti, who had scored the only goal of the night, had his penalty saved by Rossi to give Flamengo the lead. Carrascal, Cetré and Leo Pereira all scored wonderful penalties. The level of the shootout was really high. But when everything was on the line, Ascasíbar stepped up and Rossi once again came in clutch, saving the final penalty of the shootout, sending Estudiantes home and sending Flamengo to the semi-finals. Now the first leg in the Maracaná awaits them. While Flamengo has been almost untouchable domestically, in the Copa Libertadores, Estudiantes gave them a really tough time. On the opposite end, Racing are really struggling in the league, but they always seem to have an extra spark when it comes to these cup competitions. I think it will be very close, but because it's in Rio and I think that they have the better squad, I will give the slight edge in the first leg to Flamengo. And this is how my predictions are going. In the second leg of the quarterfinals, I only got Palmeiras winning at home against River right, and our other 3 results incorrect, bringing the total score to 54 correct predictions and 66 incorrect. There are very few matches remaining and I'm not gonna get to a positive record anymore, so I'm just trying to do my best so that this doesn't look as ugly as it does currently. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like, comment your thoughts down below and subscribe to not miss out on any more Copa Libertadores content. I'll be seeing you all next time.